Are you still sending proposals that look like this? Or that your clients have to spend like half an hour reading before they can accept your project? You know that might actually be hurting your business, so let's try to fix that now.
This a ticket talking margin for the figures. That's a comma and a comma and a comma.
So those are the kind of proposals that people almost normally get. And to be honest with you, if you're working with founders, you're working with CEOs, you're working with people who have a lot of decisions to make in a day-to-day basis, sending them a proposal like that is just going to push them away. So what can you do to fix it? Well, first of all, let's understand what an actual project proposal or a website design proposal or even a normal branding design proposal should really be. And you see, sometimes us designers, we like to talk a lot about how we do things and the process and, make things, I guess, look a lot bigger than they really are. And that can just be a designer ego, that can be just, us trying to be or to make ourselves look better or something like that. But at the end of the day, your client is not really interested in this. If they have already joined you in a meeting, that means that they are quite interested in your work. And if they did ask you for a proposal, that means that they actually are almost 90% ready to work with you. So what happens is that you send them this long proposal, they have to read it, and most likely someone will send them a shorter proposal, straight to the point, and they choose that one. Why? Because it's a lot easier to understand. So first of all, let's understand what a proposal is not. And a proposal is not a new pitch for a project. A proposal is not a new negotiation for a project. A proposal should be what you and the client actually discussed in the meeting, in a way that is straightforward, is points. You can make it into different points. It shouldn't be more than 3 pages. Of course, this depends on the project type and the project scope that you're working with, and it's straightforward to the cost and the timeline. This is all they care at the moment because most likely you have already told them about your process to design websites, to develop websites. You most likely have already discussed the idea of the project, learned the scope, what they are expecting, what they do not want on their website. And then you should have also discussed the cost of the project, and this should not be a surprise for the client. They should know how much you are willing to pay for the project, how much they think is too much, and also what is the value that they see on what you're about to do. So one of the things that we began to do sometime, I think it was last year, is that we made our, I would say it was maybe 15-20 pages proposal. We made it into something that's just about 2 pages, and this is sort of like an intro, just letting them know what we spoke about, the goals that we spoke about for the business, and then we move them into the design phases. This is going to be the design phase where we're going to do all the strategy for them. Then we have an actual design phase where we take everything we learned from the strategy and we create it into design assets, and then we go into development. So this is very straightforward process. It tells them what they are going to be getting, and it also aligns with the process that we already spoke to them about. And then after this we have our cost, and this is also really broken down into what we spoke about in the project. We did not go further into breaking it down into hourly rates or anything like that. Everything here is related to the conversation. So if the client was to think about the conversation that we had, maybe they forgot something, they should be able to go back into this proposal and see exactly the same thing we spoke about. And then just after the price, we tell them all the deliverables. There's going to be a big list or like a milestone. This is what we're going to do first, second, third, fourth, and so on until we deliver the project for them. And then we have what will happen next. So people sometimes are afraid to say yes to a proposal because they do not know the next step or what will happen next. So you need to make sure that you let your clients know what will happen after they sign the proposal, what will be the next step that you guys are going to check together. Most likely it's going to be a kickoff meeting where you're going to dive into the strategy right away, or you might do something completely different. And then after this, you need to let them know your terms and conditions, because every business, whether you are a freelancer or a big agency, you need to have your own terms and conditions, and these are things like payment. How do you receive payments? Are you going to use Stripe, PayPal? Does it need to be a check? Does it need to be cash? How about copyrights of your products? How are you going to be given them this? What happens if the scope grows a little bit more? Are you going to charge them extra, or are you just going to continue taking in the work for the same budget? How about plugins that you're going to be buying for them? How about funds? These are all things that your client needs to know so that they don't get any surprises during the project that you're going to be working with them. And then the next thing that I think has made a big difference is that when you have a big proposal that's 15-20 pages, of course, as I said before, this depends on the type of projects that you're working with, because if you're working with, let's say, Disney, or you're working with Google, you might need to create a very long proposal, and it all depends on what they will need to see. They might need to see each step of your process. They might need to see if you're going to be using Agile, or you're going to be using anything like that throughout this design process. But what we also found, though, is that being able to move our proposals into a software that we're able to track how much or how our proposals are working out for us, we have been able to track the numbers, and we have realized that our proposal acceptance rate now is up to 59%, meaning that if we send 10 proposals, we get up like around 6 proposals, and that's a really good number to be at. But when you send these big proposals and it's like a Microsoft Word document that you send to them, or a PDF or something like that, and you're not able to track this, it's going to be quite difficult for you to know whether your proposals are working or not really. So one of the tools I recommend, and they haven't a sponsor or anything, is GoProspero. I think they're an amazing tool to help you track your proposals, but also to limit the time you spend working on proposals, which I think it used to take us about a week or a week and a half to be able to send a proposal. So we used to do things like, every Wednesdays when we send proposals, so it takes us so it would give us enough time to create these proposals. But having a template ready that we know, okay, this template is for website design, and this is most likely what the projects will be like, we can just go in after a meeting, edit all the wording, the different deliverables, the timeline, and everything, and send it to the client as a link. So they no longer have to print anything, they no longer have to do anything. And I don't know if they know this, but we can actually see when they open the proposal. So if someone tells you, well, I did not read your proposal, you're like, I think you did. I saw it actually. I got an email the moment you open it. So clients, I'm sorry if you did not know that, but it helps us a lot. So by doing it this way, you're able to see, okay, well, in January we closed 10 proposals out of 15 proposals. That's a really good number. But if you see, like in January you had sent 20 proposals and you got 2, that means your proposals are not working out for you. So using something like GoProspero, which I think is just $8 a month, and you can send unlimited proposals, is really going to help you track that. And most importantly, you don't have to give your client the expense of printing something, then scanning it, then putting it on their computer again, then sending it to you on an email. All they have to do is sign the proposal, and it gets approved on your software. So overall, just keep your proposal simple. Ask your clients, what do you need to see in this proposal? If they tell you they are not sure, just tell them, well, on normal projects, we try to keep the proposal straight to the point for what you and I spoke about. This is if you're talking to founders or CEOs. If you're talking to a marketing team, ask them who needs to see this proposal so you can put their name on it. If there's anything else that they need to see, like your process or anything like that, ask them about it. Because sometimes if you're not working directly with the founders or the CEO, that marketing manager has to go ahead and give them their proposal, and then sometimes he or she might not be good at explaining your process. So this is where you might want to send a process sheet or something like that, where they can be like, okay, and this is their proposal, and this is their process, this is how they're gonna do it, this is their portfolio. Just always make sure you ask your clients everything you need to know so that you can send the right proposal. So I hope you found this content helpful. If you want to go more in depth in proposals, let me know. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell button, and I will see you again in the next video.